Merry Christmas, YouTubers. This is Rodney again with another wealth building tip and tip number 15. Apologize for the way that my video look. I'm in my bedroom sitting in my lounge chair and it's got the windows drawn, but it's cloudy outside and not a whole lot of light in here that I need to illuminate my face. So I apologize for that. But again, I want to say Merry Christmas, and I hope that you're having fun with your family and friends. So let's get down to it. So the title of this topic is "Don't be chained to a check." Don't be chained to a check. Let me ask you a question. How many checks have you received over the years? Secondly, have those checks made you wealthy? How many checks have you received over the years and have those checks made you wealthy? And like most people, a lot of checks over the years, and no, they haven't made me wealthy. So why be chained to those checks? We need a check. Don't get me wrong. You need a check, you need a job in order to pay your bills. But that's all that it'll do. It'll pay your bills. It may give you a little bit of fun. But if you want to build wealth, like we're talking about wealth, you're going to need more than 2 to 4 checks a month. And, with more than one comma or comma in there, you need multiple checks, even getting multiple commas if possible. But the more checks you get in a short period of time will enable you to build wealth. And getting another job to get another check isn't gonna work, isn't gonna cut it. And a lot of people have full-time jobs and they have a part-time job. And the reason why they have the part-time job is because the first job that they get isn't enough to do what they want to do, or they may have a toy that they want to get and they need that extra money, or there's a vacation they want to go on, but it's not enough time in the day to accumulate enough checks, small checks with one comma, to generate the wealth that we're talking about. And the wealth that we're talking about, I always like to leave off with three things. The wealth that we're talking about is a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So those couple checks a month is not going to leave an inheritance to your children's children. Secondly, house and wealth comes from the father. So if you're going to leave them house and wealth, those couple checks that we are chained to, got to have, think it's going to get us someplace, isn't going to give you that type of wealth that you need to have. And thirdly, children don't save up for the parents, but the parents save up for the children. Over the years, how much money have you saved? You saved the equivalent or a portion of the checks that you have received if you have had the opportunity, because most people live from paycheck to paycheck, and that's being chained to a check. You got to have multiple sources of income coming in, giving you multiple checks. The more checks, it satisfies what you need much quicker, and then that enables you to do what you need to do to build wealth. And so it allows you to be able to save, invest, push on to do some things that's going to enable you to have more checks coming in, so you can build that type of wealth. So what I'm saying is, don't be obligated, don't be attached to, don't think you got to have a check, because a check is not going to get you to the place that you want to be. You need multiple checks. You need 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 checks coming in monthly, weekly, whatever it is, in order to you to be able to get to the wealth that you want to obtain in order to help your family, to help your friends, to help your community. That's why wealth is what we seek, what we should have a desire for, because it's not only for us, it's not only for you, it's for your family and your friends and community. How many times maybe a friend asks you for a few dollars and you say, hey, I don't have it. But how many checks have you accumulated over the years and you still don't have the amount of money that they may be asking you for? Or if you give somebody some money, you need to get it back. And sometimes when the person who are asking you for the money isn't able to pay you back, and that will disrupt relationships. You want to be to the point where you have enough wealth that you just give it to somebody and say, hey, don't worry about giving it back to me. That's where you want to be. That's how relationships can be solid, because you're not depending on someone to give you the money back. How often have we have given somebody something and then it's been a while, they haven't mentioned it, you waiting on them to say, hey, I have your money. And as soon as you see them, that's the first thing that pop in your mind is that $5 you loaned them 3 months ago. So we don't want to be chained to something that is not going to help us to get to where we want to get to. Get that one check, get that 2 checks. If that's, a couple checks a month, however you get paid, once a month, twice a month, 4 times a month, whatever the case may be. But you got to have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 checks coming in from various sources that you have coming in, so that you can build the type of wealth that you should desire to have, this tool. So as you have been following me, this is a mindset that you got to have to build wealth, that you got to have outlets, you got to have resources coming in to build the type of wealth. I leave a link of one of the sources of income that I use to build wealth. I'm going to, as I continue, I'm going to use and put more out there, because you need multiple sources of income. And you may ask, why am I not putting them out there now? Because I'm trying to get you started. I'm trying to get you started to take the first step in order to begin to build wealth, and getting the mind right, getting the focus right, getting your heart set to build wealth is one step at a time. And so that's why I only leave one link in my description box. And again, I am an entrepreneur. I own my own business. I have people working for me. I get commas in my check monthly. I do have other sources of income coming in. So I get multiple checks coming in that have high volumes on it, commas, if you please enable me to do that. And so, and you got to start someplace. I started someplace. I just didn't start off with a business and went from there. I had to learn. I had to grow. I had to understand what it takes to be a business owner, to be not relying on a check uh, any longer. Me and my wife walked off our jobs. I said, "Babe, I'm coming off my job because I want to start our own business." She walked off her job, and we were combined. We were making a little over $200,000 a year. Walked away from that chain. Walked away from that guarantee, and began our business. And we haven't looked back since. That was hard. That's a decent amount of money. I mean, there's a lot of people make a lot more. But for us, that was a good bit of money that we were getting. That checks, those couple checks that we got a month added up over the course of 12 months, over 200K. And so, but my desire to leave an inheritance for my children's children, to be able to do some things that I wanted to be able to do for my wife that I wasn't able to do um, from the checks that we're getting, even though it was a little bit of money. But once the taxes get you and all that kind of stuff like that, you have a nice living. But I wasn't able to help my community. I wasn't be able to help my friends and family like I wanted to. And we always wanted to be a giver. So in order to be a giver, I have to have more to give. So that's just a little touch of who we are, where we come from. And so just remember in this tip, don't be chained to a check. Well, it will enable you to go forth and to reach your financial dreams and goals. Again, Merry Christmas to you and a happy new year. But we'll see you again. We'll be putting out another video tomorrow. Take care.